to be back. Spell it out. I always skip the words, 'cause all the pictures are so bright and loud. Cause I'm still amazed you made it out alive after what you did. Bored on your feet, running forest fires underneath your bed. Cause it's good to be back, good to be back. Super fun at the movies, drunk and young. Double knots that came undone. But the big bad years are gone. Yeah, the big bad years are done and gone away. I remember when our voices used to sound the exact same. Now we just translate. 'Cause I'm still amazed you made it out alive after what you did.
Yo, what's up? All right, what's up, gang? We're live. We're alive. Woo! What's up? All right, what up, Emmanuel? DeAndre, good to see you, man. Buenos días, Alfredo, Cesar. What up, Corey? Jesus. Little cafecito. Just had some lemon water. Some salt. Now we got some coffee here. Got a good lift in today. Push day. Oh, a little running action. Looking for a lot size calculator. Can you let me know when you restock on the LED mouse pad? I guess so. Nance is on it. It is in stock. But yeah, so you'll have that there. The quality on the Syndicate recording was so much better. I don't know what you changed. I didn't change anything, so I'm not really sure what happened. But what's up, Taylor? Morning, homie. Congrats again on the account. What's up, Matez, Ibrahim, Edgar, Luis? All right, guys. So I have, we're rocking, the Tradetopia Investing Club today. Got that. There's a lot of new stuff on the store, so if you guys want to go check that out, feel free. But let's get into the market. Let's see what's good today. What do we got going on over here? So, screen share. All right. Give me a sec. Okay. Sweet. Let's get it. All right, so I'm not going to kick it off with S&P. We'll start Dow and then NQ. Man, yesterday, what an amazing trading day yesterday. The setups were just giving us exactly what we wanted. It's the setups were there, execution was there. Really nothing else. And it maybe feels obviously it feels good taking some wins home. Yesterday collectively had about an 8-point something R. This is excellent. However, again, this is just probabilities. Sometimes you get a handful in a row and it feels good, really effortless. And then sometimes It gets a little choppy. Sometimes you get a losing streak. But at the end of the day, it's like you kind of can't get too low and you can't get too high. You just got to continue trading what's in front of you. Don't get caught up in yesterday. So if you had a great trading day yesterday, don't get too high on that. Remember the core principles first and foremost, right? Are you bringing anything from the past into the present? So right before, give me like 30 seconds and I'll get you guys. I just want to make sure we're mentally in the right place. So let go of the past, right? Yesterday doesn't matter. Last week doesn't matter. Last month doesn't matter. Cool. The outcomes, none of those things are it. So make sure you're process focused as you're approaching the market today. That's it. So that's all we got to do is think about what's the risk that I'm designed to take on my accounts today. Are my accounts logged in? Is everything set in stone? What could go wrong? Okay, am I ready? Perfect. And then now just let the market come to you. All right, so let's dive in here. So here's what we're gonna do. Let's go ahead and actually, I'm gonna switch things up a little bit. I'm gonna go over here. Boom, just like that. All right. So with Dow, we've kind of been creating a wedge. So I'm sure you are all noticing the market's been pushing this way. So we're building liquidity here for sure. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a push to the downside. But also, right, we're seeing the market squeeze in a downward trajectory as well. So this is where we're sitting right now. Quite a bit of retail liquidity on both ends. So as you're looking at this, we have New York open in less than 9 minutes. At this point, everything looks really effective. Like the market's been efficient, mitigations, etc. Here, if we get a little bit more detail, we can start to see a bit more. So it was really choppy during Asian session down here before it continued. And then here with Dow, we saw another push to the downside before the market tried to rally, sent it right back down, pushed up again. So I'm going to be pretty patient today. We've had, 2 amazing trading days. No reason to rush anything here. I'll let the market clear out liquidity, get as low as it needs to, and then if we get a setup later, that's fine. So I'm not necessarily forcing any ideas right now. I wouldn't be surprised if we get like a push down to here, and then we get something else, whether we get a higher high, bullish structure, and then maybe we get an entry. So that's scenario 1. Or we could get something like this where the market clears liquidity and then it doesn't quite break above, but we get still some solid bullish demand, and we could get something like this as well. So, we could see either a move like this here and then the continuation, or we might see something similar, but it just goes and creates higher highs. So something like that is definitely possible with Dow. Pretty straightforward. And then I'm actually going to just put alerts on the trend line itself. So if you start to crack below it, we'll be ready. Now from here, we've seen NQ continue to work its way down. This is actually exactly what I talked about yesterday. I said, I think Dow has a good chance of staying within its structure while we have NQ continue to work its way down towards the lows that Dow already got to. So, for example, if you look at YM traded into this imbalance, into this mitigation, which was Friday, October 24th. Now, NASDAQ has traded actually below this level, and cool, it traded into this sideways movement, traded into this Thursday Asian session lows. Maybe we go lower, right? We have a nice push down, so we might get something here. Or the fact that we came down, came right back up, and then now we had very little demand here. This might have been it. This might have been the last move to the downside it needed to make before anything else. So in terms regarding buys, we have a couple interesting things here. You had the push down during Asian session. the recovery still during Asian session, the sideways movement. You see a big move down here. So there's two possible setups. One is this. First and foremost, we see the push down, the market, breaks and retests here. One more move down before it rallies. So you have kind of this last move before it continues. I would say this is kind of like an order block right here. After this, we then see a buildup of liquidity here. So there's retail buys loading up during the second half of Asian session and then into London session. Then we get that push down before the continuation. So in order for this to be, for me, a qualified setup, I want to see the market trade in here a little bit longer. So I want to see something like this. And then, cool, I'm down for a buy. As of right now, I'm not fully set on that. Now, that's one direction. However, yesterday was pretty interesting. We had liquidity building up Tuesday, London session, going into New York session. You had that spike up, and then it all came tumbling down. So this was that last move to the upside before the market fell. And if we got to this area, I'm very much open for sells as well. So I'll take a look at just how the market is. We'll see how indices play out to start the day. But what we've noticed is during London here, we did start to trade a bit higher into these levels and, took out London and Asian session highs, whereas YM hasn't quite done that. YM a little bit slower to the upside. So if YM is going to be a little slower to the upside, maybe there's a short somewhere that I missed here for Dow. Doesn't really look like it. So yeah, we'll be waiting. Let's see what the market wants to show us. So there's kind of two ideas here. Kind of depends on how the market drops. But at this point, we saw Asian session just dip below, came back, maintained up here. And the reason, in my opinion, this is important is because this push down that we saw during Asian session intentionally clears out quite a bit of traders, like days worth of liquidity. So this does look like a shakeout to me. So let's say had I been, trading around this time, I may have pulled the trigger on a buy over here. But I probably would have waited for this to go a little lower, to being honest. And then, lastly, S&P 500, pretty similar. S&P trading very similar to NQ. Same thing. Yesterday clears out London session, London session, Tuesday's London session highs, drops. And then you see during Asian session, this is just tanking. Comes right back into here. The market builds up liquidity. Clears those lows, market rallies. So pretty similar price action between S&P and NQ. Looks good. Let's just see how it opens. So that is indices. We're 90 seconds away. Okay. Meanwhile, Bitcoin here, right, continuing to tank. And then, of course, struggling to maintain below these 100,000 levels. It's kind of coming right back. So this is the 100% a test of structure. You have the higher lows. You have the, these higher highs over here. This was just like a failure to meet demand over and over and over and over again. So if there's demand below this, like bull runs over. If there's no demand here, right? If it breaks below and this stays lower, then we're in for the mark down back to 75 and change, in my opinion. But if we eat this back up, then we're gravy. So it's going to be pretty important. What's good? It says in stock on... All right, Corey. Yeah, Corey, let us know if you see it or not. Buen dia. What's up? What's up, Zoe? Caught oil buys last night. Ended up doing a 9R. You closed it at a 2R? Shit. Hey, you followed your plan, right? Supreme Court case for Trump's tariffs today, I believe. That'll be a market mover at some point. Absolutely. Absolutely. So Bitcoin, is there something for us to take here? So I like looking at how Bitcoin moves similar to indices. They tend to have a very similar type of trading behavior. Here we had a really aggressive push down before it all rallied. So I wonder if we get any alignment between Bitcoin getting back in here and indices running. But zooming out once again, and we have, New York opens now, bells are ringing. S&P also did just a really good retracement. So this looks efficient to me. The market is pulled back. If we're going to want to, rally and make up for the last week or so of bearishness, would make sense to kick things off today. So I'm with it. Only one says in stock for me. So it's in stock. So that's the one for you. All right, beautiful. How did YM open? All right. Cool. Okay. So we'll wait on that. Meanwhile, let's go look at some majors. Yesterday I realized I didn't look at them with you guys here. And one of the setups that I wanted, here we go, was the yen. The yen here made a nice push down during Monday's Asian session. So you see a nice sweep to the downside, and then this thing rips. Are there marches right now? Yeah. Oh, dang. There's a whole drum. The band's out there. So, right, we saw a nice little push down, and then the market just absolutely ripped. So, yeah, we could see some good trading out of this range. I have to look at the rest of the majors, but I mean, as of right now, it could be something worthwhile. Then you also see the sweep of liquidity here before the market has worked its way down. So there's kind of two ideas that the yen is now presenting itself here. So let me zoom out a little bit. You can see here kind of what this looks like. There's another move up here as well. So there's actually several things that we're seeing happen. But overall, this has been bearish. So following along with the downtrend does make a lot of sense. Of course, the yen has gotten to lows it hasn't been at in a minute. And that means USD/JPY, right, is trading very, very, very high. So there's kind of two scenarios. We saw a break above the previous highs here, and we traded up here like this all of Tuesday, New York session, going into Asian session before seeing the pullback. So I do like the buys, and I also like the sells. So I'm open to these ideas. I'm going to take a look at the rest of the majors just to double check a few things. But this looks good to me. Let's get this here. Let's write it out. Oh, shout out to Antonio who got funded, which is cool because, you just came across our page here. Happened to see a video, happened to hop on streams, took advantage of the classroom, and it's awesome. So, yeah, cool to see. This group's classroom is everything. And if you're not in the community, then feel free to get in there. All right. So if you're not in there, guys, if you're maybe just happen to hop on this stream for the first time ever, you're somehow landed on here, let us know. Drop a 1 in the chat. All right, and then here's the free community. There you go. Okay, so today's setups. What's that? November 5th, 2025. Okay, so 6J, aka JPY. Then we have this here, right? Got the image, so makes it nice and easy for everyone to see. Okay, so we'll get back to the majors in a bit. Obviously, we have got funded yesterday. Let's go. Sly doing his thing. Okay, so look at the movement that we're starting to see already. This is starting to work its way down pretty quickly. This, for me, is a very little amount of structure to want to take the trade right in here. Meanwhile, we're seeing Dow actually trade up first. So it traded way higher. So, okay, I'm just gonna keep waiting that out. Just to be clear, if we don't come back up here and trade longer, then I'm gonna not take this zone and I'm gonna take the lower zone. Okay. Now Swiss franc still bearish, NZD still pushing down. Euro still grinding its way down. It already had mitigated this zone from over here. Hit your 90-point target on that YM buy. Which one? Pound still pushing lower. AUD did the minimum, so this was the mitigation setup from yesterday, right? So this one, it didn't trigger me, but it reversed here. So this was the minimum it was going to give us. And that's why, I've been saying, let's be patient with buying any majors because, one, they're in a downtrend. And two, if they're all moving pretty similar, then just wait for the market to come to you. Now, for whatever reason, I haven't been able to get into sells. Like this, smart money setups are just not really appearing as much as I'd want them to here for me. Or at least not with this. The pound has left some good setups behind, though. You had a bias for New York Open. Sweet. Congrats. What did you take? Somewhere in here? I saw, okay, I kind of see it. You saw a little push here. Sweep down. A little buy off of that. Nice. I'm assuming that's what you took. Well done, well done. Okay, so with the pound here, just going off of, obviously this has been dropping and dropping and dropping. There are a couple setups that I like, specifically this one here. So GBP had a nice little push to the upside. And then we see this here clears out some liquidity during Asian session. This happened right before, actually, London Open. And then everything worked its way lower. So we could see a sell on the pound here. So let's get this chart here marked up. All right, 6B. I like it. Looks clean. No real rush here. I have the alert set. And then there's this higher zone as well. So if you are, let's say, keeping an eye on this, there's this zone too. So I can see the sell out of here. Now, remember, for at least with my approach to trading, I don't just look at one asset. I look at the asset class. Since they're correlated. These are all, it's like a game of chess. They're all like, they move in unison. Some are going to break certain like patterns because another one still has to set up. So they're all like intertwined. That's at least how I like to think about these things. So something like this looks good. Let me actually replace this. I'll have both here. And then the key thing really for me is that as the price starts to rise and approach these key levels, I'll just pay attention to, okay, where is the market at with Australian, right? Where's the market at with Euro, the CAD futures? Like, where's everything lining up together? But right now, out of every single setup, only the yen has done that like 1 hour shift in direction where we were accumulating. We break above this high, we create demand. So you have, accumulation, markup, distribution, markdown. Like, that's playing out really nicely. Rate decision tomorrow. Sweet. You're in a GBP shakeout buy. Is that so? So a little push down here. I wouldn't have really considered this a shakeout because this doesn't really clear liquidity. Like, we don't really get below Asian session liquidity here. So I wouldn't have taken this. But, I mean, I'm happy for you either way. Okay. I'm open. I'm open to this yen buy. I want to see what's good here. All right, moving on from there, I'm still waiting on opportunities here with silver. Yeah, man. I don't know. I feel like we're probably not going to get this anymore. Maybe I wasn't thorough enough on this setup or something. Oh, you know what? I think that is the case. The market starts to drop up here. Dang. All right, cool. Not a big deal. So this mitigated, did its thing. It's ripping. I wanted this for the swing trade. That's the part that's a little annoying, is I wanted this for the swing trade. I wanted to catch this and then let it rip all the way up to at least 52 and change. So did we get below 46? Not quite, but this is, in my opinion, I think this is the mitigation. So that's user error. You see, I marked it up from over here, but the marker starts to drop from this wick and then pushes lower before the rally. Either way, I wouldn't have taken the trade that high. I wouldn't have taken this off the open. So it doesn't really matter. I can't say like, oh no, like it missed me. Like, I just wouldn't have been in there. Let's check up on NQ here. So okay, NQ struggled to give these highs to stay up here. And then it's getting pretty choppy. So, it took out the highs, worked its way back down. There's definitely liquidity here. So at some point, I think we'll come for this. YM as well took out not really any London session highs or even Asian session highs yet. So more of a squeeze, playing even lower now. So just consolidation, in my opinion, here. I think this goes lower. Indices look like they're going to go lower, in my opinion. I'm gonna prefer the lower entry here. I don't think I'll trade this. Not the best structure, so I think this would fail. It could go lower. So I'm gonna have 2 alerts here. Okay. What's up, y'all? In the chat, let me know. If y'all want me to look at a certain setup, go ahead. Feel free to share as well. As we're waiting on this, let me check up on a couple things here. Morning. All right. What I want to do here, I don't have it pulled up. There is an alert. What is the alert? Okay. So Dow cracking the trend line. So let's see this. I wonder if we'll go below all of this Asian session liquidity. If it cracks that low, and then we can see what's going on with indices as well. But what I wanted to finish marking up was what was going on with silver. So going over to silver here. And I'm sure you guys can start to see it. You have that last move down before the market came up, moved sideways, and then rallied. So this is what interests me. Another buy set up here. And this to me looks like equal lows. So I would have my entry below these lows. So basically below 67.725. Yep. This is what I would be waiting for. And then, I mean, easy targets are liquidity here. And then this area here, basically. All in this range. So what we got going on with silver. So just to give some perspective, meanwhile, like gold made liquidity. So yeah, silver's looking a little bit more bullish. All right, this is basically what the entry would look like, something like this. Like over here, it's a little stop, tiny stop. If possible, I don't know if we'd get all of this in one day. But, you know, trading into this imbalance is cool. Liquidity, all of this makes sense. Okay. So even here, right, this looks like a great trade. Just trade it into this zone because it could short from here. But big picture, I'd want it over there. So, all right, here is the setup on silver. All right. NQ ripping right now. Well, you look at that. Took out the highs. Dow played out of this low right over here. Interesting. Honestly, I really wouldn't have traded any of this anyways. So I'm cool here. NQ now approaching some price action from yesterday. Dow chilling. Squeezing. Okay. All right. That takes care of metals. Yo, did that one trade play out for you the other day? Was it like, I think you were looking for like a palladium or a platinum buy or something? I don't know if it's XPD or XPT. Okay, oil. So oil yesterday had a nice little bounce before dropping back down. So this is just a minimum mitigation play here. And then now, you know, we're clearly building up a bit more. So we traded a little lower. London session got into this zone. Right now, we're basically just kind of squeezing. So is there a lower time frame entry? Or is there a nice short that we can be involved in over here? More of an imbalance here. Definitely massive amounts of squeezing with oil. So a breakout is coming. I don't love oil price action right now. As you guys know, it's the same setup, same entry models, exits, same philosophies across the board. I just don't prefer trading any of this at the moment. Even here, some of you maybe saw a nice little sell-off here, and then maybe you were inclined to take it here. And this was the minimum mitigation. So when you see the reversal happen, at that point, that's when I move my stops to protect my entry. But I didn't take this, and two, this structure was pretty weak. Okay, so right now, oil or Dow, big drop, continuation. See that right there, right? Trades right into this low. And then now we're seeing higher highs. That's Dow. And Q also pushing. I feel like Dow picked up way more momentum though. So I wonder if this turns into a setup. Because this is a big move down. Like you see it from right here. If we get quality structure here, like we can maintain these highs, could be set for a buy. I'm cautious though, because this just looks like trendline liquidity, so I'm not fully sold on this idea yet. That thing is ripping. What I like is actually the short on NQ. So this is what we're keeping in mind here. It's been on the way down. There's some imbalance over here. So I wonder where we would really reject somewhere within this zone. I think I'm down to play it around like 825. So somewhere around here is where I'd be looking to short. Something like this. And then where would I take it to? Counter trend. Honestly, maybe it just depends on if we get here, how we get there. Maybe something light, like something intraday. 3R max. Maybe even just 2. It'll just kind of depend. Honestly, I'll probably go more counter trend. Keep the exit a little tighter. All right, Mexican peso worked its way all the way down to here, played out of this last point of supply, and then absolutely rallying now. Okay, so I've kind of ignored this peso for a bit, but it looks like there's some good setups here getting set up, presenting themselves. So we see a little push up here. This kind of looks like liquidity, so I won't necessarily look for sells specifically here. Same thing here, a little push up to these levels. Basically creates more retail sells, more liquidity. Right now, the big thing is we saw this drop during Asian session down to here, and the market instantly rallied. London session continues to be bullish. And then if we, kind of zoom out, get a bigger idea on what's happening here, looks like the market's ready to, looks like it just rebalanced to an extreme, cleared out tons of money here. So buy looks good for me. Whether if we trade over here longer and we drop, I'm down. If we keep going and then we drop later, also down. So I'll have this here set in stone, Mexican peso. Okay. I realized I never shared this idea with NQ. So let me add that to the list here. And then I'm going to post this here. Post this now. All right. Those are there. Now let's get 6M. Where would I look for a trade, for an entry here? Now, when I have an imbalance like this, and there's a couple different things I can look at. Either as we're rolling through and forming this inefficiency, this imbalance, I'll look at where we've seen like order blocks like this, where the market just kind of stalls out. So that could be an area of interest for entries, like in here. And then I like to zoom out and look at, all right, in the past, do we have other last points of supply, right, etc. So as we zoom out, in the past, we've seen the market reject right around here. So you look at, oh, you can't see that actually. I'm realizing, I think I might be in the way. Let's see. Yeah, so like right over here is exactly the same as if you look on the left-hand side. So this looks to me like a great entry point. Let's see. I think you'll see it better on the 15. Yeah, there we go. So I'm down for a buy here. Stops the low. And then this one, look at how much it just moved during a day. So next time around, could look for some extensions. Intraday volatility obviously can change, but looks solid. Mexican peso, 6M. Okay. Add it to the list. All right, here we go. Updated. Sick. NQ not too far. NQ about 140 points out from where I'd want to short. This wasn't my entry style. It did clear and take out some liquidity here. So this kind of traded more of the intraday liquidity. So intra-session took out some of London's liquidity. Once it did that, it rallied back in here. Didn't really create any structure or new demand or anything. Pulled right in and then just sent it. Just fucking sent it. Looking at YM, similar idea. Not necessarily an entry level for me. And then S&P, pretty. This is no. I don't like any of this. So I'm okay that I am not participating in this volatility so far. Bless you. Yeah, I'm not bothered by, not being involved here. We got, all right, Bitcoin rallying. Here we go. Back over 103. Hope you, well, I mean, I guess I can't really say, it sounds, goofy. Like, oh, I hope you picked it up. I don't know. Bitcoin under 100K? That always seems like a steal to me. And by always, I mean just the last several months. It's funny how these things go, right? If you would have told me a few years ago, like, yeah, dude, in the future, Bitcoin at 100K is gonna sound cheap. It's gonna sound like you're getting a deal. I really wish I would have told myself to go into just a incoherent amount of debt with Bitcoin at $3,000 or at $1,800. You know what I should have done? I should have just taken my Sallie Mae loan back in 2013, right? And just thrown that shit at Bitcoin instead. But I was trying to get educated and get a degree. All right, 6J. Okay, what's up, pal? The yen. Oh, this thing is tanking. All right, hold up. Possible buy here, but I might be too slow. And by I might be too slow, clearly I am too slow. I am a sloth, apparently. Yeah, tanked, playing into the zone. A valid play. Can we sneak in here? Let's see. 6J. I don't have my contract size for this. I have to figure this out. All right. Okay. Let me just double check this before I blow this account. Accidentally, you know when you trade 10 times bigger than you're supposed to? All right. Yeah, you do know, huh? 6J. No, not this contract. This contract. There we go, pal. All right, I am in there. Order filled. Order filled. In there, a great friend of mine would say, in there like what? Swimwear. Oh, y'all are funny. All right. Let's get it. All right, so here's my entry. Let's see. Can I do this thing here? So I'm in at here. Stop is over here. And then, I mean, if we're looking at, these are the Asian session highs. This is where we traded London session over here as well. I don't necessarily think I'm going to pursue this all the way into London. I'm going to just trade this into probably closer to like a 2.5 R, if that's what we get here. Kind of take out this New York Open, clear that out. I think that's a good place for the setup. Taking a look here, and everything else is dumping as well. So some strong moves to the downside. Euro dumped, pound dumped, AUD as well. So yeah, let's see how it goes. The yen. If you trade CFDs, this is basically USD JPY, but just in the opposite direction. I would understand if you did open your stop a little bit. I would also understand that. Some of these, sometimes it's like, am I choosing the right major? So if you did want to have a wider stop, maybe give yourself a little bit of breathing room, I definitely respect it. And then when would I move my stop to break even? So I kind of want to see about, over like 15, 16, 17, 18 ticks or so. So if we trade upwards up in this range, then I'm good. All right. Nice. Getting a little bounce. A little bounce. Okay. All right. So at this point, let's see. The risk was how many ticks? Around 14. We're up almost 1R. Anyone trade this with me? 6M creating a new buy zone. Just needs a man. Beautiful. I'd have to take a look at Nat Gas. Got a 3R there on Dow Sell. Nice. Having this new account really helping this week. Happy for you, man. Love that. Let's go. Caught the buys. Let's go on peso. Oh, you're a savage. Let's see. Jesus, what's up? Holy GU gap. Is there a forex version of this pair? 6J? It's USD JPY, but it's the opposite. ISM news dumped. Yep. That's cool. Cool with me. Contract size is too small, but you're in there. Like you're under leveraged. All right. Oh, okay. I see. Nice little move. So even indices here had a nice little crash, little baby crash. NQ ripping though. I wonder, do I want to sell NQ if it's wilding right now? Yeah, structure-wise, we'd only be trading near like the highs of New York session yesterday, while Dow is already about to crack New York highs. So yeah, I'm cool with that. Don't know the contract and you couldn't figure it out in time. If you are looking to know the contract sizes, I believe I dropped the contract size somewhere. It's on the store. I know there's one on the store for sure. So if you go to here, I'll pull it up. So if you go here, it's free futures contract cheat sheet. So then you can just use that on here. So here you go. So you just save these as a template. It's in there. Wait, that's not the right link, I don't think. Just kidding. I sent the community link. Yen, depending on what you're doing, does not have micro. I don't know what accounts you're trading, but yeah. So like for example, like on Top Step, you're not going to see a micro for the yen. On really, I don't know if you get micro on the yen on anything really. Yeah, I don't think the yen has a micro actually. Yeah, Tradefy here doesn't have it. Let's see, funding ticks account. I don't think they have it either. Nah. No dice. Yeah. All right, cool. So go to the store, hit resources, and then you can check it out there. There's the futures contract cheat sheet. All right, there we go. Dow pushing, NQ chilling. We got Little pullback here from this right now. All right. Bitcoin on the move. Crypto on the move. Dog eating this up. Nice. All right. What are stocks doing? Stacks. Lucid bouncing a bit. Excellent. Intel also. Delta. Nintendo. Man, should have bought Nintendo stock instead of buying these damn consoles, right? Look at this. 13x since like 10 years ago. Mickey D's. Okay, solar with a bounce. SEDG ripping. Jesus. The NPH back over 30. Unity, sick, popping off. Let's see. Did we get Coinbase a good break under this? Yeah, I kind of felt like we were gonna get Coinbase under here at some point, but it's just refusing to get that. Lulu. I want Lulu a little bit lower to go in heavier. But I've been, you know, picking up some crumbs. Let's see, what else am I missing? Okay, that's about it. There's nothing much else to do here. All right, cool. Let's see, what cryptos are bouncing? Dog bouncing nicely. So the meme coins looks like they're bouncing pretty good today. All right. 6J chilling. NQ starting to drop already. A little before where I would have wanted it. Okay. If we pull back to my intro, I'll get in. Can you look over Chipotle? What do you want me to look at regarding Chipotle? I'm in Chipotle. If everyone wants to go just eat at Chipotle for, you know, the sake of our bags, that's not actually how it works, but it's fun to say. Yeah, I'm in here. I got the zone. Take a position here. Right over here. Worst case, it wants to gap down to COVID levels. I don't think we come back here, though. Money supply is different. You know, this is created, you know, it's established really good structure. So, like, this was expected. Down here could happen. I'd pick it up if it would, but I'm sure. I think this will be a good pickup. Have I gone break even yet? No. Mike, on that 6J 5-minute time frame, there's a last push we could take, like the NQ one on Friday. Or do we not mess with lower time frame on major? On 6J. You're saying like right here? Here's where this move starts, in my opinion. Well, let's zoom in. Let's see. Maybe I'm wrong. It's possible. I've been wrong before. So we start to see the market push down. You're saying it stalls here a little bit and then it makes one last move down. Okay. I could see that. I understand that. Little imbalance here. Yeah. I mean, it's possible. I don't think this would really influence. Like, either way, like, this is the same zone. Like, it's the same overall movement. This played into right there. So, like, this drop off. So, if it were to come back down to here right now or something, then cool. Like, I'm already in this, so I wouldn't get it again. I wouldn't double my risk exposure. But I get it for sure. Bought some dog and Ando yesterday. Sick. 6JZ. 6JZ. This is the sixth evolution of Jay-Z. It's like USD JPY, if you know CFDs. But it's like flipped. This is just yen futures. Your USD JPY chart is going to look like the opposite. It's going to be trading at the highs, and a USD JPY would be like a short. Only question, but I remember you saying that lower time frame. Yeah, I don't really trust lower time frames as much with currencies. Yeah, I don't really do like 1 minute trades on currencies. Super Saiyan 6 Jay-Z over here. That's what we got going on. 6B is Beyonce. You're just trading rappers. You know what I never tried? Is what are they called? The rap snacks? You never seen rap snacks? Yeah. Are they fire? I don't know. I never tried them. Are you doing your funding ticks on TradingView? I have them on Tradetopia, and then I just have them copied over. But trading on TradingView is fun, you know. It's cool. It's pretty. It's like it feels really easy. Okay, so while we're waiting for this to run and do its thing, the chips. Yeah, the chips. That's what I'm talking about. I have some news for you guys. Big news. So remember with the cup, right? We were talking about the cup here. Where is this thing? Tradify. Grand Cup. Is this it? Cool. So I brought up how this cup, Tradify is doing this huge cup, literally like $1 million total in payouts. And all this fun stuff, you know, if you top 400, you make money. Top 200 gets live accounts and money and all that. And then there is teams, right? So this, to me, is like the coolest contest I've seen in a super long time. I think it's the biggest cash prize contest that we've seen for futures trading. But so I had a call. At Tradify. Super cool call. Got to chop it up with them for like 30 minutes. And so good news and bad news. Bad news, can't get in as a team for this cup. Good news is we do have a chance to get our own team for the next one. So guys, like Tradetopia could be representing here. And I think that would be one of the sickest things ever, because we can see literally the leaderboards and have like all of you guys just get in here, you know, put your skills to test, make some money. And then when you do have a team, there's also extra cash that is available just for having a team. Now, how do we do that? Now, here's the thing. And as you guys know, I've been really, for me, it's always been super important to protect my reputation. In the last 10 years of being in the trading game, like I've never shared broker links. Like I've never pushed things like that. You know, no like weird affiliates with like just sketchy random ass, you know, prop firms, CFD prop firms, futures prop firms. I've never pushed some sort of just shitty random ass meme coin. It's just like always been more so focused on making sure that high probability things, like that's what matters the most. So, yeah, with that being said, same thing with futures prop firms the last, 3-4 years. I've been kind of waiting for the right one to work with, and one that kind of wants to grow with us, which is valuable, not just the other one. So with this, yeah, I had a really good call with them, and yeah, for the first time ever, Tradetopia and just us specifically, we do have a partnership with Tradify now, which I'm super stoked on, because that also helps us get more accounts. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking, because obviously it's an affiliate thing, but I'm going to be using a good amount of those commissions, and then just sending it back to you guys. That way I can get Tradetopia accounts all the time. But what they did for us for this, because, you know, this is like a launch. What they did for us is dope, is that they're giving us free accounts. So, you know, obviously they want us to work for it. They want us to grind it out. But it's dope because basically for every 20 accounts total, it doesn't matter the size, but for every 20 accounts that we get collectively, like as Tradetopia, I get a free account to give away. And every time, every 20. So even if you get like the $50 one, that counts. And then that will be your like raffle ticket for the giveaway. Let's say you get 2 or 3 or 4 or whatever, then you would have multiple entries, and every 20 is going to be that. So I'm super stoked for it. Yeah, I'm like, and it's 30% off the whole site too. So if you're doing the typical challenge, the no activation fee challenge, or the instant funding, it's pretty sick. So so yeah, you can either use that link or use code El Mago. And I'm super stoked for it. You know, you can go look at it, do your own research. What's cool too is if you're used to like TopStep X platform for trading, you could do that. It's the exact same platform. Or if you want to trade TradingView, Tradovate, then you can do that too. So it's pretty sick. Like I really enjoy it here. But the big thing is like I want us to, and also if you have a Tradify account, then you can do this cup for free. So it is included. So I'm running this. I know a lot of us in the syndicate are doing this cup too. But yeah, if you have an account with them, then you get an entry. Last day to register is on Friday. And then, yeah. And then once we have 100 accounts total, then the free giveaway accounts are 150K. So yeah, they get bigger. So it's pretty cool. If you guys aren't really familiar with these guys, go do your research. Obviously, don't just listen to me blindly. I wouldn't expect that to you. I want everyone here to be a critical thinker and to always do your own research. They've paid out over 90 mil, so they're on it. The thing that is the most different is the lightning funded, which is like you're instantly funded. Obviously, this costs more. I won't recommend this to everyone, to be honest. Most traders probably shouldn't do this if you really don't have any discipline. The typical one that you guys are probably used to is the this advanced one, which is, typical, like the 48, $50. You'll save some. What's up? You'll save some here. And then this one is the monthly fee and the activation fee. And then if you do this growth one, then it's no activation fee. So it's the $97 a month, but no activation fee. Or you get instant funded. And then the drawdowns are nice, though, for these. So I would say don't do an instant funded if you just want to skip the combine, skip the challenge, because you feel like if you can't pass those, or if you don't really trust your emotional control, don't do it. Don't do these. You get better at trading first. And this is with anything, any Top Step, Funding Tick, Apex, Top Tier, whatever, all of them. Either way. But this is a really cool concept. Look into the fine print as well. To get your payout, you do have to hit certain metrics. It's not crazy, but yeah. So anyways, guys, super stoked to have that partnership with them. Let me answer questions here in the chat. So here we go. I love it so much smoother that I don't have to be switching tabs or any of that. Nice. What platform do you use with them? I do the Tradovate, but I mean, it's whatever you're more comfortable with. Like if you are using TopStep X and your MT5, no, it's not a CFDs prop firm, it's futures. But if you're using TopStep X, for example, so the company that makes the TopStep X, which is called Project X, they do it for like tons of different companies. So they also have it for Tradify too. So yeah, go ahead, guys. And also the reason I think is a great time to do it in the next couple of days is if you get your own account, then you also get free access to the cup, to the tournament. So pretty dope. The discount code is El Mago, like I mentioned here. US 30, yeah, that's known as YM. Mm-hmm. If you're new to futures, so it looks like some of you here trade more of CFDs and you're not trading futures, then NQ and NASDAQ are the same thing. Yeah. 6J active. Yeah, I don't know, Edwin, if you went somewhere, but or maybe you're behind on the stream. But yeah, we've been in that trade for a little bit here. For those of you used to use MT5, would it be better to use TradingView as a trading platform? They're pretty similar. Yeah, they're pretty similar. You were driving? Is possible? Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, so if you go here, you'll see through Tradevate, you can make your account with TradingView. Mm-hmm. Edwin's brain had a malfunction. He was driving. So this is squeezing nicely here. So either we get a big move down or a big move up. But a squeeze, once you're triggered in, either it's nice because the RR can really push when you get sideways movement like that. Can we double dip with, I don't know. But the big thing, is basically once we really show out for Tradetopia here, then we'll be able to have our own team. And then we can represent on here. And then like just for having a team, like for example, for this one, 25K in giveaways for the team that wins, that performs the best. And then 5K for the top trader within the team as well. So that's the big thing. Like getting that set in stone is going to be sick. But yeah. All right. Let's see if we can get this thing to pop off. So right now, only the yen's active. NQ chilling. YM has been real choppy. What do the other majors do? Pound, push lower, rallied. 6C, similar. All right, they're all moving pretty much the same. Okay, oh, Swiss franc had a nice move. Push down, a bit more aggressive. Metals, not really dropping or doing anything yet. Bitcoin continuing to rally. Moving to 104. All right. Let me see if I answer any questions here in the chat. What's better between futures and CFDs? No spread. Regulations in the U.S. specifically. Let's see. Honestly, they're pretty similar. Like, it's nothing really too crazy. I'd say if you're talking about trading with margin, props give a pretty nice margin to trade with. Prop comps. They're cheaper. They cost less. So that's nice up front. But also, it's just what you're paying for a drawdown. And so that's always what it is. Like, what kind of drawdown are you getting available? And then what are you going to be willing to risk? Let's see. Outside of that, I mean, it's pretty much the same. If you want to know more, I did make a video specifically on like going from CFDs to futures. So I'll drop the link to that video. It seems like some of you here would benefit from that. So let's see. How to trade futures, CFDs to futures. All right. So here is the link. There you go. You can check it out there. It's really not that different. You're trading contracts instead of lot sizes, and you got to get used to some of the different names. But risk management wise, I mean, pretty much the same. Copy trading is pretty easy as well. All right. So right now we're almost at a 1R. It's pushing towards it. We're getting closer and closer here. I think with the squeeze, if this breaks out, this will be a nice push here. If you want a very high probability exit, then I would focus on this right there, which would be under a 2R. I'm going to push towards clearing out New York open, like these New York highs for now. That's going to be what I'm going to target over here. I could even go further into this zone, but, you know, just intraday, I'm cool with this. Yeah. For sure. So, yeah, this is it, guys. Super stoked. Where you mind? I'm not sure what you're writing there, but awesome. I'll make a post about it too in the community. I'll have this pinned right now as well. My goal is to get us to a point where we can represent for the next cup, and to get you guys free accounts. So remember, every account that you get an entry towards the giveaway, the free 50K giveaway, and then at 20 accounts we get an account. So I think we're going to end up getting a handful of giveaways, and I'll have everyone's name and everything too. So, you know, hopefully you guys can win some free accounts. And then same thing, I'm going to be reinvesting back into the community anyways. So on top of what that company personally gives us, I'm going to be using that to do it as well. So appreciate you guys. As always, I'm just about ready to go break even on 6J. We're getting a nice push so far. So yeah, I'm basically, at this point, I'm going to tighten up my stop. I'm going to move it to the low. So feel free to do so for you guys as well. And then let me know in the community if you hit profit, if you take profit, just whatever the outcome of your trade is. Would love to see it there as well. So awesome, guys. Good session. We'll stay on the lookout for what goes down with Dow or NQ, and then we'll go from there. Take care, guys. Peace.